very first time. I really, really enjoy that because you have nothing to go on after. You don't know me, you don't really know the music, you don't know my ideas, you don't know any of that. So you being introduced to the music for the very first time is amazing. So major kudos to you. Thank you so much for being here. The name of the project I did was called Fraction, A Piece of Whole. And so my whole idea behind this particular EP was, for one, we released our first single here in February. I was there around February the 14th, but we had an event, almost 9 months, I can't believe it's been 9 months, it's crazy. And so from that point on, we released the single. Then we went and we did a concert in June. And then from the concert, I felt like, okay, I need to continue to kind of move this thing forward. So in moving it forward, we created the EP. So now here we are, Fraction, A Piece of Whole. What I'm going to do is, you're going to hear this stuff for the first time. No one's heard it. Of course, it's been mixed, it's been mastered, it's been like a really, really long process. The process has been incredible. I've learned a lot. Many people may have already heard the music because you came to a concert, so we just kind of took some of the things that we did at the concert live, and then we took it to the studio to make it amazing. So the first song I'm going to introduce to you is called The Anthology of a Survivor, and the best way to describe it is, it's an orchestrated type of classical influenced ballad, if you will, with like an alternative rock sound to it. Genre-wise, there's no genre. It's more of a story, okay? So it was my intent to create an inspirational narrative. And so the narrative that you're going to hear, the first person, is Mr. William Craig, followed by Ms. Linnell Watkins, who's doing lead. Mr. Hasker Thomas is following lead. And then Cherie Graves is continuing the lead. And then you'll hear the rest of the Hill Project. I introduce to you Anthology of a Survivor. Yes.
Isaiah 45 and 22 tells us to look unto me and be ye saved, all the ends of the earth, for I am God, and there is no one else. I know that you have a published collection of writings which would depict the massacre and mayhem we have been through. And so someone may have
love this piece. It's I enjoy doing this piece. It's called One Moment. And the whole influence behind this, I want to kind of go with like a smooth type of R&B feel, musical arrangement that speaks of a conversation of a person kind of like pulling themselves back together. One thing I learned in life is that you can go through so much, right? And sometimes we become machines. But you can go through so much that you actually need a time just to breathe and kind of catch back, kind of catch your breath. So this song right here is called One Moment. I think she's one of the baddest singers ever, Miss Kanisha Hall. She leads this song with conviction. I actually wrote this song for her. Oh my God, how old is Keone?
He's 6. So he's
I wrote this about 6 years ago, 6, 7 years ago, but I changed it a lot. I wrote it just for her because we had to do a production. So after that, I just kind of took it and just rearranged it. So this song is called One Moment. Hope you enjoy it. That's my song. I love that song. Man, give it up a hand. So this next song was the first single that we released. I could not have this event without playing it again. Called Your Love.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I love this piece too. It came from such a very personal place. Life influenced this song. Because it was transitional moment for me. And from that moment, I've learned how to take the complications of life and recycle it and make some good out of it. It's a very, very unique situation because sometimes you can go through so much and things, and just in general, that you're like, oh, I don't want to get up, I don't want to make it, I don't want to do anything. But you know what? Creativity is a gift from God. And when you learn how to use what you feel to create something beautiful, you come out with beautiful things. So Your Love is all about, I think for me it was about the love of those who were there for me when I was at my very lowest. And of course my relationship with God, I can't get away from that. So Your Love, at the very end of Your Love, you're going to hear this amazing saxophonist, and it's nobody but our brother, Mr. Haskell. These individuals that do these solos, they're really something. They go in and do it in one take. He does his narrative in one take. She does her solo in one take. Haskell, is everything all right? Are we good? And we're done. They walk away and say, everybody, Your Love. Your Love.
Leading to me.
last piece on the EP. It's a fun song. It's definitely it's very soulful. My whole idea behind this was because I love the creative ability of Earth, Wind, and Fire. I just kind of love them. I think they're just genius. And I remember when I kept hearing this bass track, and I kept hearing this bass. I was like, when I was sitting down with my guy who does my music, and we were kind of putting this together, I was like, I just want this to be kind of heavy bass, something that you can wake up to, and it's your song in the morning. This song is called I Made It, and I hope you enjoy it. Any questions? Any questions about the process, the creative process? I let myself go.
Question.
Yes.
When can I gain ownership of this?
Absolutely. I'll let you know in a minute. I got you covered. Anybody else?
What's your next step?
So, good question. That's my godmother, y'all. That's a good question, Mom. So here's the next step. I feel like I stumbled across something. The Hill Project, this is my sole purpose for the Hill Project. To create a platform that will uplift, empower, and strengthen. Every lyric that I write should provoke a human emotion. I'm understanding that we are masters of this, guys. We know how to put it together. Like, we know how to put it together. But I'm learning, like, over and over and over again, there are a lot of people who are hurting. That's why I came up with the Hill Project, because I felt like, let's pull together some amazing artists whom you're me. Let's really get with some good musicians. Let me kind of put my whole heart out here. Let me kind of get involved with what's going on in the world versus what's going on in individual lives, and including myself. And let's kind of put this out here. So the next project is, our next goal is, we're now working on a series called HTP Live Sessions. So what we'll have, we will do acoustic sets, either covers or maybe some stuff I've written to kind of help us build our YouTube following. I don't feel like we should just keep this all in one little box here, but we should do something. And one thing I've learned in the music industry, because you need to learn the business, is that in order to reach people, you have to put something out there. People like to see a flat front, meaning a picture, but they love seeing movement. They love hearing movement. They love seeing things differently. So what we're going to do is we're creating this this session called HTP Sessions. So there are several musicians that are going to come in, and we'll sit around a piano, we'll sit around a guitar player, we'll sit around somebody, and we'll cover tunes, and we'll do things like that just to kind of do several things. One, to kind of help put us out there so you can know exactly who we are, and more importantly, to kind of keep our responsibility going, which is to touch people. Next year, my goal is to work on a larger project. So every song for my new project is done, meaning lyric-wise. It is probably the most, I think, open creatively I've ever been. I already have the name of the album. I know what direction I want to go in. I know how many songs I want to do. I know how I want to approach the music. So that is it. So from January probably to June, because I don't want to rush this. I'm learning that sometimes when you want to put out something really good, you got to take your time with it, right? So I think I just want to kind of use that January and June to sit down with the right musicians and talk to the singers and give them all the interpretation and really kind of put my whole heart out there. Next, I would love to go and I would love to be on some platforms. I say this to, and you'll meet William soon. I say this, I just wish we could just get on a stage. Not on the stage so that we can just say, oh, look at us. But a stage to say, oh my God, we're standing right here in front of a microphone and I'm gonna sing this lyric and I'm gonna talk directly to you. I want you to feel what we've lived and what we're singing. That's all I want. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If we could just have a platform where we can just sing honest, we can sing healing, we can sing, people being strengthened, that's all I want. So, HTP Live Sessions. Working on a larger album, a larger piece of work next year, and just really trying to create a kind of like a media digital platform, because we understand that people live on their phones. And so we're now in the process of creating an app, reaching out, reaching across, bringing other people in that have like-minded ideas like ours, and just kind of reach out in a very transparent and very open way. So that's our next goal. And we've been working. I don't sleep. We've been working. Anybody else? I'm open. Wow, y'all cool. Huh?
Let me ask you this.
What's the chicken?
Mr. Trice, let me ask you this. Can you just explain what, when putting this piece together, what was like your process in terms of, did the lyrics just come to you first? Did the music come to you? Just walk us through that creative process.
I generally don't rush a lyric. So if I hear melody, I jump on it. Like, so if I hear it, I'll literally stop exactly what I'm doing. Like a song came to me this morning when I was on my way to work. And so I'm in this train like, and then I'm writing the lyrics down. And then I'll go home. And then sometimes I feel like I'm gonna finish that song, or I will walk away from it, and then it comes back to me. So I'm not the guy that's like, that's why I don't know if I could ever like have that type of restriction on me. Like sometimes record labels put on artists, like, you gotta have an album done. You're not getting it out of me, because I'm not gonna do that. If it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't feel right, and if it doesn't hit me a certain way in my gut, I'm not gonna write it. So for me, it was hearing the melody. Actually, I Made It was supposed to come out before Your Love. But then I Made It. I think Hill Project, we were just rehearsing, right? So we had a rehearsal, and I was like, I have a new song. It was like, okay, well, what happened to I Made It? I Made It later. Then I taught Your Love, because Your Love came from a conversation I had with a family member. And then it started bringing up other things. I was like, this is the song. So yeah, that's the process. It has to come to me. It just comes to me.
Gotcha.
It just comes to me. I don't force it. I could be in a moment. It just comes. I never force it.
Gotcha.
I don't force it.
And how would you classify the music? Because one of the things that struck me, and you said this before, is that you didn't want just a, I guess, traditional gospel sound. You know what I mean? So, and when you listen to it, it's varied. I mean, it has you can there's different musical genres interwoven in that, and that was something that you wanted to do, right?
It was intentional,
right?
Because I'm a music lover. I'm a music lover. So because I love music, like my influence is really well, for one, he's not here, but my spiritual father, my bishop, he's a major musical influence for me. Second would be that of Anita Baker. It would be Diane Warren. It would be Earth, Wind & Fire, Donald Lawrence. These unique people who write. So they're my influences, and they write everything. So again, for me, it's not. I try not to keep myself in the box. I try to expose myself to as much music as possible. So when a creative process comes, I'm not stuck in one particular box. And really, though this is not a word, the Hill Project is ungenred, if you will. There's an inspirational message across. You'll always hear an inspirational message. Like it's a song I wrote that's going to go on a new project called Super Me. Ain't nothing saved about it. Ain't nothing saved about it. But it's one of those songs you turn up and you bump, and it just speaks to, I'm all right. It's a little cocky. It's like a little swag. Like, man, I got through that one. I'm super me. At the end of the day, I'm that bold. That's how you feel. So it's not like you running around, you about to church, you gonna roll down the floor. That's not happening. And so I kind of expose myself to those different genres because I want to reach everybody.
Gotcha.
So yes, that is intentional.
Okay.
It's intentional.
Are you going to do another concert?
I am working on another concert.
Great.
Yeah, I'm working on another concert, and I'm excited. I'm excited to work with some new talent, and I think this concert, I just want to open up. I just want people there. So I didn't get it. Talk to this man back here first. But I don't know if I'm in charge, so we don't know. I just want a moment, very intimate moment, where it's just the singers, musicians, some great people like this, is an amazing crowd. Doubled, and that's what I want. Yeah, I don't like. I'm very low key, but when it comes to creativity, I become a whole other person because I think creativity is always a my outlet. It's my outlet. So what I'm gonna do is, I want all the singers who sung on the Hill Project to come up. You have to meet these individuals. They try to be real, like, laid back. Yeah, yeah! So really, all these, I don't care what nobody says. I think they are like some of the most incredible talent ever.
Yes.
I mean, we go in, and you know what messes me up with these artists? I never call them my singers because they're not my singers. And the reason why I do that is because every last one of these individuals can stand alone as artists.
Amen.
Every last one of them, you put them in the studio, you give them some good music, you give them a good producer, you give them whatever, and they could come out with some of the best work. They are the most human and humble people I've ever met. Some of the most talented individuals, and I think what messes me up all the time is how devoted they are to what I do. So I want y'all to give them a hand. Miss Amir Campbell, Pastor Thomas, Tanisha Ray Paul, Liddell Watkins, Cherie Graves, and Miss Charmaine Douglas. I want you to meet this new guy. All right, this new guy here, man. He has become a brother indeed. One thing I had to learn, there's so many lessons, is that it's important to make sure business is together. Talk about like business. I think a lot of people, and I credit you and Pop John for a lot of my business savvy. Because y'all have exposed me to so much business. I'm a graphic designer. So my mentor was that man back there. So everything I know, and I so much from a business perspective. And so when I went into the music, I didn't want to just, let me just go and write a lyric and just run with it. Let's learn the business. So I'm on a ministry in our church called Stephen Walker Ministries. And I would remember my godmother, every time she would have to work on a music project, I would sit through the process of her doing the copyrights. She would do the copyright, she would do this, I would have to do the covers. And then she was the one that initiated Genuine Productions for my bishop, so started that record label. And so when I started this process, I was able to go back to a blueprint. I had to learn that. So with that being said, I met this incredible brother right here, Mr. William Craig. He's come on as a management, he is management, and he really kind of helps us. He helps push this. I mean, his passion is crazy. He hasn't seen this, but he doesn't know. So I had a conversation with him and I told him, listen, you want to do all this music management stuff, so why don't you create a company? So I'm presenting his logo for the first time. He has not seen it. Kingdom Movement Music Group, and the Hill Project is directly affiliated with it. I think he's onto something incredible, and he loves music, and he loves to administer. So we're going to put him to work. So just listen back for it. Mazda, you. You already know what that means. Thank you. Thank you so much. Your loyalty and devotion to the Hill Project. I want to thank every person that's here because it's amazing that this is the right climate. You know what I mean? Sometimes you do events, you're like, and I know there are a lot of people in the room who necessarily don't know each other. But it's just the right climate for what the Hill Project stands for. Such an eclectic intellectual group here who are directly involved in listening to what we're doing. And there's a lot of people here who follow us, who supported us. I just want to say thank you so much. Please just connect with us. We're doing a lot of things on the social media side, so we're pushing that. And I've had the opportunity to bring in some public relations so we can kind of centralized what our look will be, and I'm kind of scrupulous when it comes to that, so we're kind of focusing on that. And I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for the ride. What I want to do is, I'm doing something kind of different. Are we able to play that?
Yeah, I mean, we can.
All right, so this is what I
Hold on, before we do that.